Hello, my friends. I'm Bee, and this is Bee's Intuition. Um, yeah, I think today we're gonna do a little reading that's a little bit different. I want this to be something that you can watch when you're feeling blue. Pretty much like if you're feeling down in the dumps, I hope that these messages will help uh, make you feel better, I guess. I think I'm going to focus on like qualities about you that are worth celebrating to remind yourself when you're feeling a little bit down. At least that's the intention I'm putting in here. We'll see what Spirit has to say, because sometimes I'll, select a theme and then Spirit has other ideas with what comes out. So yeah, let's just dive right in, okay? Please and thank you, Spirit. What are some great qualities about the collective, please and thank you? Or if you have any messages for the collective that will help them when they're feeling blue, please and thank you, Spirit. Please and thank you. Okay, well, that's nice. Okay. Ooh, these are some pretty good ones, I gotta say. Okay, Spirit. Okay, this one's pretty funny. Just because it's very positive. Starting out with the 9 of Pentacles. I'm also going to take these as like things that Spirit sees about you. Qualities that you may possess, or, if other messages come through, I'll also share those. But I think mostly I want to like kind of focus on, the ways in which Spirit sees you growing and, changing and all that stuff for the better. So that 9 of Pentacles came out first, and then it was the Queen of Wands, and then we have the Ace of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles, and then the part that really made me laugh, the bottom of the deck is the Sun card. Oh. Thank you, Spirit. I think that's actually a very beautiful message. I think this is just saying that there is always a light in the darkness. Even if it's the light at the end of the tunnel, there's always a point in which you can strive for that happiness or that light. And maybe there's like a little bit of a reminder about the balance of the universe. Like, if you've been going through a hard time recently, or you feel like you're kind of stuck in a rut, that is not going to last forever. The sun will come out again and you will feel happy again. So I feel like this is a reminder that that feeling of being, sad, depressed, feeling blue, it's not going to last forever. It's only temporary, and it's a part of life. And I think that maybe that's a message from Spirit here, is just to kind of, because it's really hard to remind yourself that when you're going through it, it feels really hard to remind yourself that, oh, I'm not always going to be this way. Things happen and change all the time, and sometimes for the better. So never give up hope. Okay. And as for the cards that came out, yeah, I feel like you're being seen as somebody that is very independent, kind of rocking whatever you're doing, whatever you have your focus on, especially things that have to do with like the material. Like they provide you with material comfort, or you have some sort of career, or anything like that. It feels very much like you are maybe doing a lot better than you think you are. Also with that Queen of Wands, like this is somebody that this is usually somebody that's in a very high vibration. I feel like maybe your natural state of being is not usually sadness. I think you very much feel more comfortable in either being more neutral feeling or happy. Like I feel like that's more so your natural state, I guess. So it almost feels like, well, I guess I am getting a little bit of, like, because it almost feels a little bit like a mask how I'm picking up right now. So maybe you kind of are a person to sort of like or suppress your sadness or whatever and put on a happy face, especially when around others, because this is also like somebody that cares about other people. So I feel like you could even be in that sort of position where you're like, I don't want other people to feel like I'm a burden or I'm a downer or something. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm picking up on that. Like, I think you're much more capable and very lovely and beautiful. Like, you have a very beautiful, lovely energy. And maybe there's a reminder here that you're not an inconvenience and your emotions are not an inconvenience to other people, especially the ones that love and support you. Ace of Swords could be talking about how you communicate. This has come up in previous readings before. I can't remember which one, but like there was one talking about how the collective has a very powerful way with words, and so that could be what this is even talking about. I'm also getting manifestation, like you could manifest through the things you. Oh, I see what you're saying, Spirit. So if you have been like maybe thinking a little bit more negatively or pessimistically, like, first off, that's totally okay. That's part of being a human and living in this very, it's a beautiful world, but it's very faulty at the same time. You know, there's plenty of things to get sad about, you know, but I feel like, what was that message? I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I think pretty much I was just trying to say that your words manifest. So if you've even been saying out loud, like, oh, I'm never gonna get this, or, you know, I'm always gonna be a failure, or, you know, anything like that, I think maybe this is just a reminder to be aware. Not to say that you can't express those statements, feelings, thoughts, and in fact that could be very cathartic for you and helpful in that way. But I think overall it could just be Spirit kind of trying to remind you that because you have such a powerful way with words, maybe try as hard as you can to just at least try to make what you say or express to be a little bit more positive. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna clarify. So if there's like specific details about that, I'll definitely pick up on those. But yeah, it feels like you're the way that you talk, the way that you express yourself especially, can manifest in the 3D. So I think there's just something about that there. But I also don't want that to come across as like you should, you know, keep all of that in, because I don't think that's healthy either. So yeah, I'm definitely going to clarify that Ace of Swords. I'm going to clarify all this, but like the Ace of Swords, I'm curious as to like where they're going with that, because I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression, you know, like, oh, just put on a brave face and, you know, tell yourself lies so that you manifest that instead. Like, I don't want to, I don't know. Well, we'll get into that. Okay, so for the Page of Pentacles, whenever there is like an opportunity for growing or growing something, or just like new opportunities in general, especially opportunities in the 3D, you may be very like open to that. That could be a quality about you that is quite lovely, actually, because it's something about like you're not like one to shut down new opportunities that are presented to you or offered to you. And so I feel like that could be something that Spirit finds very beautiful about you, your willingness to be open to that. This could also even speak to, like, maybe you've had a lot of times in your life where you've had to, like, maybe start over and start from scratch and grow from like a little seedling into something bigger. And that could be very beautiful as well. Okay, let's start clarifying, starting with that Nine of Pentacles. Please and thank you, Spirit. What did you want to tell the collective about this Nine of Pentacles? What kind of messages do you have for the collective out there that are feeling blue? Okay, let's see what came out. Oh, this is actually really beautiful. Okay, Spirit. This is such a beautiful reading. I wasn't expecting all of this. So clarifying that Nine of Pentacles, we have the Ten of Cups, okay? Like the best cup card that you could probably get. Like that's happily ever after right there. And then the Queen of Swords also came out. Honestly, this is such a powerful message, I feel, because usually that Ten of Cups is usually seen in relation to romantic love or love with somebody outside of yourself. But I'm almost getting that there's some sort of love that you're building within yourself, potentially. Whether you feel it in this moment or not, it could be something that you're building slowly within yourself. But like the fact that you're focusing on yourself, your life, your comforts, you've really been building something very beautiful here for quite some time. And what it's leading you to is your ultimate happiness. I don't know exactly what you have going on, but this is where you're supposed to be or something, is what I'm getting. Like you focusing on yourself, building up that abundance, stability, security, whatever it is, it's going to lead you to your ultimate happiness. And it feels like that is like your fate, your destiny, to be happy. But I think this could even be like a reminder that even if you feel lost in this present moment, if you feel sad in this present moment, like you're actually exactly where you need to be. And I know that can be hard to hear, especially when we're going through it. But I feel like Spirit is here to kind of give you the thumbs up that you're like where you need to be. And you're also embodying the energy of what you need to embody at this time as well. I'm getting that this definitely goes hand in hand with that Nine of Pentacles energy, because the Queen of Swords is all about building or establishing healthy boundaries with others, being selective, having standards. And I think that and this comes back again to that feeling of like there's definitely an overarching message here with like that you have everything that you need within you or within your goals, within your like how you strive towards your goals. Like the work that you're doing is so important. And like it, I don't even know how to articulate that. Like even if it's not ideal right now, and maybe if you're not seeing the results right now, how do I say this? Like you have, I don't know how else to word it other than that. Like you have everything it takes to make yourself happy inside of you. And it feels like you're doing exactly what you need to do in order to make your future bright and beautiful and happy. I don't know if that makes any sense. Hopefully it makes sense. Sometimes when I say things, they don't make sense to me, but then when I watch them back, I'm like, okay, that actually makes somewhat, that's somewhat sensical, I guess. But the Queen of Swords, I feel like, is so about, like, I honestly, and actually that's kind of a good point. So sometimes the Queen of Swords can be seen as a divorcee, which I kind of feel in this sort of energy, because it's something about, like, you being on your own and focusing on you. I'm almost even getting that maybe you have a past of either not focusing on yourself or not prioritizing yourself, or maybe putting other people's needs before your own. But it's like you're stepping into this time of like, no, I deserve to put myself first. I deserve to think about myself before others. Like, that's totally perfect, healthy, and okay. Obviously, that's not to say that you shouldn't care about other people, but, you know, within reason, of course. And, you know, the Queen of Swords is a very reasonable person. Like, she's not going to close herself off completely to other people, but she knows her worth, and she knows, you know, how to demand, like, how to advocate for herself and demand that which she deserves, and it is up to her own value. Like, matches her vibration, matches her value. You know, what's worth her time, what's not, and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like also the Queen of Swords, the way that there's like where her head is, it's clear blue sky. I think I've heard it be talked about, I suppose, as that is her seeing things much more clearer or clearly. The clouds are not up there, so it's like clear sky indicates like clearer way of thinking, clarity. I can see, you know, exactly what's going on. And so I almost think that I feel like this is almost redundant, because a lot of the times I feel like Spirit has these types of messages to say in these sort of readings is and this may I almost feel frustrated saying this. I can't even imagine what it would be like to hear it. But I'm gonna say it anyways because it's what's coming through the strongest. Pretty much, if you trust the chaos, if you're feeling like it's kind of chaotic in your life, or things are not going the way that you want, or, you know, personally, I find the fall time to be very stressful. Like, I love the fall as a season, but like, especially now that September has started, I feel like that's like the beginning. I know technically it's not fall until the 21st of September, but I just pretty much go according to the month, you know? If it's September, it's pretty much fall. Like, you know, just makes it easier to, in my brain at least. But yeah, this time of year can always be so chaotic, and, you know, I guess fall is really that season of change, so it will affect, you know, life. There's going to be a lot of change, a lot of movement, a lot of like things happening, good, bad, and ugly. So I feel like this time of year is pretty stressful for most people. I'm not sure what it is about this time of year, but it always seems to be that something comes up, or, you know, inconveniences happen, or things don't go according to plan. So I feel like even though it's super uncomfortable, and I feel like you're this is what I feel from your perspective, is like you walking down like maybe a very dark hallway with no windows, no source of light, and you're just kind of blindly hoping that you make it to the right destination. And I feel like that could be what you're feeling or going through or something. And I feel like this Queen of Swords is here to say that, one, you have been prioritizing yourself, and that is something very beautiful that I think Spirit wants to highlight, you know, kind of like say like really good job on that, because I think that's what you need to do at this point in your life, at least, is focus on you and focus on your own goals and stuff, and it's going to lead you exactly to where you need to go. And I think that as long as you trust the chaos, because I feel like right now it's most likely a little bit chaotic, whatever you're going through, because when it rains it pours, right? You know, it's always something, like, and it's never something, or maybe it starts with something small, but then something else happens, and then something else happens, and you're just like, before you know, it's a long list of things going wrong, and you're like, oh geez, you know, not again. But I feel like you're gonna gain clarity. Like, the more you trust in the process and you keep going, like, I feel like you have to do this blind trust, walk through the darkness, you know? I think you're gonna experience that confused darkness for a little bit, but eventually the light will be, like, will appear, you know, because the further you go down that hallway, the light at the end of the tunnel will get bigger and bigger and bigger until you see the exit. You know what I mean? And so I feel like you might just have to be blind and kind of lost for a minute, but there's something about trusting that you're on the right path, trusting that this is just part of the process, and eventually things will become much clearer. It's almost like maybe you're in the dark for a reason even. I feel very much moon card energy right now. So maybe there's a reason why you don't see where you're going, or maybe there's a reason why you're struggling to find the exit, or, you know, whatever, in this metaphor that I have in my mind. Like, that's all I can really say, because that's the message that's coming through, is like, it may not make any sense right now. You might be completely lost. You may feel like everything is, you know, bad or sad or whatever. And when I say whatever, I don't, like, I say whatever all the time as like a filler word. I never mean like, or whatever, like, you know, I'm not trying to say like your fears, emotions, depression, sadness, that is whatever. You know, I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to, just part of the way that I talk, I think. But in case anybody ever takes it in that way, where I'm saying like, oh, whatever you're worried about, like, I'm not saying that. Like, your feelings are valid, whatever they may be, and whatever situation it is, it's however you're responding emotionally, mentally, spiritually to a situation is exactly how you feel is rational, and how you, I don't know. Sometimes I say things and I'm like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. But I guess this is a long way of saying just trust the process. I feel like it's going to be one of those kind of readings where I'm kind of scattered. I'm so sorry. Makeup on my arm. I'm trying. I'm having a little bit of I can't even talk. I'm having a little bit of an off day. There we go. It almost feels even like, because you're doing whatever you're doing and focusing on yourself and, you know, what you find very important during this time, you may receive something, because her hand is out like that, and so I'm almost getting like there could be something that's literally like a direct result of this. Like, maybe there's some sort of payoff even. Like, it feels bigger than just you're gonna gain clarity. I think something may happen. Yeah, it feels like there could be something coming towards you, or being given to you because of you persevering here and trusting the process. Spirit may find something that will reward your trust in them or something. Bottom of the deck is the King of Cups. Now I wonder whose energy this is. If it's representing you, you're very much a very kind and loving soul. Ooh, actually I'm seeing a little bit of turbulence in those emotions here. Look at that water down below and how it's like forming waves. Like, it's not smooth, you know? It's very much wavy and Like, it definitely has movement to it, you know? It's not like a calm surface of water. So, you know, water represents emotions. So you may even find that this time is particularly tumultuous emotionally for you. And also, this could be like, if you're feeling blue, if you're feeling down in the dumps, it could even be not even based on anything in your 3D surroundings. And that's totally valid and okay too, you know? Like, we all go through these moments. We all have those times in which we feel, you know, maybe like sad randomly, or like some lack of contentment or something. And sometimes it's not always due to what's going on around us, and that's okay. You know, your feelings are completely valid, no matter like what they are. Obviously, as long as you're not hurting yourself and others, like, emotions are fine, you know, even if they don't make sense to other people. Because that could be something that you're struggling with too. Because it's like the way that it's like, I don't even know how to say this, but like the waves on the image are there for all to see. And so I'm almost seeing this as, you may feel that maybe people judge your emotional state too much, or say if you're going through a tough time, people may judge you for that. Because I'm almost getting like your emotions going up and down. And although that's honestly, like, our emotions are constantly changing, constantly going up and down. So like, who's to judge somebody else because they're experiencing that? We all go through that at least once. Honestly, I think many, many, many more times than once. We usually go through those times in life. But I feel like that could even be something that you're kind of like worried about other people seeing. The fact that your emotions kind of have been kind of going up and down or something. I would say to just like try your best to ignore those people that, oh, there's a little squirrel. Anyways, ignore those people that are like judging you for having emotions, or judging you for, you know, maybe one minute you're very happy and the next minute you're really sad. Like, that's okay. Like, that's so part of being a human. And so like, ignore anybody that says otherwise. Because like, also like, we need to feel our feelings. There are so many people that suppress their feelings to such an extent that it's so unhealthy. Especially those more negative emotions that we experience that people don't typically like. You know, everybody loves when somebody's happy, but not everybody loves when somebody's sad. So it's like, I don't know. It feels like it's just a natural process, and if anybody judges you for that, they can go to hell. I mean, that's kind of severe, maybe, but, you know, they can buzz off if they got opinions about how you are responding to something, or how you are, obviously, again, as long as you're not hurting yourself or others. That's where we draw the line, okay? But just simply feeling those emotions, going through a rough time, yeah, I feel like there's something there about, like, if you're being judged by that, that's their issue and has nothing to do with you. Because like, it's way healthier feeling those feelings and not lying to yourself, because that's a whole nother part, is like, maybe we want to feel those feelings to kind of process them and release them, but you know, sometimes we even judge those emotions and stuff. But crap, I lost my train of thought again. I hope that I can remember when I'm editing. Pretty much, yeah. Feel your feelings. That's normal. The more you feel your feelings, the easier they are to process and the easier they are to release. So maybe trust in that process as well, of feeling feelings. So yeah, this could just be you. I'm even getting that if this is you, this King of Cups, yeah, because like, I feel like the kings, and this may be due to sort of like masculine standards, in our society, we usually expect the men to be stoic, and put on a brave face and never show emotions, and man up, be a man, like who allows themselves to feel their emotions? How dare you, like. And so I'm almost getting that you could be in that sort of position, of feeling like you kind of have to act stoic, or act like you're not upset, or act like these emotions inside of you are not all over the place, But I feel like something is trying to tell you that it's safe to feel those feelings. It's safe to express those feelings if you have a friend that you'd like to vent to, or something, or somebody close to you. There's nothing shameful about these emotions. There's nothing, there's nothing inherently bad about them. It's just a natural part of life. And so don't be afraid to show that if you're going through a hard time. Okay, let's go on to that Queen of Wands now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What did you want to tell us about the Queen of Wands for the collective? Please and thank you. Queen of Wands, please and thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Ooh. Ooh la la. Excuse me. I'm a yawny person here. I'm yawning all the way to the bank. Okay. So the first card that came out is the Four of Wands. Very beautiful. Very interesting too. The Knight of Cups came out in the reverse, and at first I was like, I don't know if it meant to come out in the reverse, but then it tried to come out in the reverse again, so I'm thinking it's meant to be in the reverse. Okay. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna wait until I show you all of them. And then the Star card came out, and that's interesting because my sweaty little leg here just accidentally pulled up this card and exposed the Star card. So I think that is definitely something. Sorry, I'm just like getting a very beautiful download from Spirit, and it's like trying to tell you here that you're meant for some great things. Like you're destined for something far greater than yourself. Or maybe even something, like you're supposed to play a part in something that may even be beyond your wildest imagination or something. Like it will even exceed what you thought was possible for yourself. Like there's something very powerful about that Star card coming up twice like that. Okay, clarifying. Oh, bottom of the deck, Five of Cups. So this could be you maybe going through some heartbreak, but this is a message about when you're feeling blue, so this could just be you feeling blue. It doesn't even have to be romantic. Oh, I see now. Well, it's a couple of things that I'm getting. So Four of Wands, this could be talking about a union. Excuse me. Like a union that maybe you crave, desire, or maybe you just want somebody in your life to be a partner, establish something with. And then the Knight of Cups in the reverse could be you feeling like that's never going to happen, or like nobody's interested in you, or could even be well, this could be a fear of maybe nobody's on the horizon, maybe you don't have any options or something, but it could also be a fear of love. So maybe it's even, so it could even be something complex, like this is what you crave, but you're also afraid of it at the same time. Humans are complex like that. That could be very, very, very well likely. And then the Star card. Okay, so I'm getting something really heavily with that Star card about healing. Healing yourself, healing others, the divine guiding you through this process. I may clarify a little bit further. I'm not sure if I'm grasping the whole message. Or maybe it's just because there's so many parts to it, I'm not sure exactly what it's trying to say. I mean, it could always be that you're healing those wounds of like fearing love, or you're healing that inner conflict of both wanting love but also fearing it. So maybe you're healing that sort of part of yourself as well. Or maybe Spirit is calling you to do that. Also, with that Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck, it could be that Spirit is trying to encourage you to see things from a different perspective. Because in the picture, he's very upset about these 3 cups of spilled wine. But behind him, there are 2 that haven't been knocked over. So if he turns around, not only is he going to see that there are 2 cups standing up still, but he'll also see that there's a bridge. And if he goes across that bridge into this like little town that's in the distance, he'll be able to buy more wine, more cups, you know? So it's like, it's not the end of the world. It's just it's just about shifting your perspective to see, you know, especially in moments of heightened emotions, you know, no matter what they are, they can really shift what we focus on. And so maybe there's something that you're not seeing right now that can help change your mood or your mindset around a little bit. So maybe thinking outside the box, trying to see things from maybe even take a step back from the situation and try to see it from an outside point of view. You may see that you're missing certain details, or like there's something that you didn't consider. Like it almost feels like, and it's also kind of giving me an idea of like, it's not as bleak as you may think it is, or maybe as it appears, because in his mind, you know, the only thing that's happening right now is he's spilt this wine, he spilt these cups, and now he doesn't have any wine to drink, and so he's sad about it. But yeah, when we feel those intense emotions, we tend to not see everything clearly. And most of the time when we experience those types of emotions, they wipe out any sense of rationality. So it could be something about that, like, and it's not your fault. It's how these circumstances and emotions affect us. It's not necessarily anything you're doing wrong to be in this position, but rather, while you're in this position, there may be another way out, or another way of navigating the situation that will yield a much more positive result, if that makes any sense. I'm going to clarify that Knight of Cups in the reverse. Please and thank you, Spirit. What is that Knight of Cups in the reverse trying to tell us? Please and thank you. Thank you. 9 of Swords. So yeah, this is a card about fear. And also mental anguish. And I usually take it as a PTSD card. It kind of strikes me as that. Like somebody that has night terrors, or triggers from past traumas and stuff. But a lot of being in your head, and not in a good way. This is, and it, you know, there's a lot of swords here, so it could be even overthinking to a degree. And clarifying that Knight of Cups in the reverse, I do think it has something to do with fear. Maybe even anxiety. I'm almost even getting like a message about like that TikTok sound where it's like, is somebody gonna match my freak? You may feel like nobody will ever match your freak, or, like, not literally, but like, maybe in any way, like you feel like maybe you're so unique that nobody will possibly, like maybe you think that there's no one that is compatible with you because maybe you're very much a unique individual. But I really think that's just your mind trying to psych you out. I don't think that is the reality. It could be just how you feel about it, but sometimes our feelings feel very real, as if they are reality. I also feel like this is a card about losing sleep and maybe needing rest. So if you have been going through a rougher time, don't feel bad if you need to take a nap, or even if you just need to like sit down for a little bit and maybe like stare at the wall for sometimes we need that. Sometimes we just need to do absolutely nothing. And sometimes really good things can come out of those moments. Maybe we could have an epiphany, or maybe we start to think about something in a different light or something. Like I'm even getting like, maybe just spend some quiet time with yourself. Take a step back from whatever is triggering you, stressing you out. I feel like I also need to give somebody the permission to space out, Like it's okay to space out. It's okay to just like have a moment of quiet, where you're not listening to anything, you're not playing with anything, you're not watching anything. Just allow your mind to go wild for a minute with no external stimuli, But also if you need a nap or sleep in general, don't feel bad if you need to, incorporate more rest into your schedule or your routine or whatever. Especially now that we're going into fall. The days will be coming shorter. The nights will be coming longer. So it's natural. I think that that's another part of what makes this time of year a little bit chaotic and stressful is like, we're coming out of the time of summer, which is so high energy and, go, go, go. And then like when it starts turning into fall and then winter, it's really the opposite. Things start to slow down, or our bodies do, our bodies crave more rest. Our bodies crave more calories. Our bodies, there are different ways in which the time of year can affect us. So I think rest could be a very good idea for honestly anyone out there, even if you're not struggling right now. You could also be thinking about like past experiences in love that like just did you dirty, it feels like. And so maybe you're almost worried that it'll just repeat again. Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. See? Spirit has your back. Okay? So, if you've been thinking pessimistically about your love life for a while, or you've been really anxious and overthinking, regardless of if it's about love or not, the Wheel of Fortune will turn. And the Wheel of Fortune is very much like, it's like the card that kind of reminds us of the balance of the universe. If things have not been going your way for some time, eventually they're going to go your way, because the natural balance of the universe is, it needs to balance out. That energy needs to balance. So if you have been going through a really hard cycle, or just like a really hard time, know that the Wheel of Fortune is turning, and it will eventually turn in your favor. So there's even another message again about like how this pain, sadness, whatever it is that you're going through right now, it's not going to last for long. Like it's all part of the divine plan, but the wheel keeps turning. So even if it feels like nothing's moving, or like you're always going to be in this dark place, that is not true. And it's going to be light again, and things are going to balance out, because that is just the natural way of the universe. Also, I'm very drawn to the books in the hands of these little creatures here, around the the border of this image. And so educating yourself about something could be helpful. Maybe simply spirituality or divine timing. Or maybe something about even that like idea that there is a balance to the universe. Maybe researching more about that or people's opinions about that sort of thing could be helpful for you to kind of remind you that this is a normal part of the process. Or maybe you feel drawn to like read a really good book. It doesn't even have to be educational, but education did come up. So maybe there's a theme, topic, or subject that you want to study more, and that could be very good for you during this time, actually. So whatever it is, if you're feeling called to like research something or read up about something, or maybe just read a book for the fun of it, that could be really helpful for you. And you know, sometimes a book is exactly what you need when you're going through a rough time, because you know, it's like a movie in that way, where it's like it will take you out of your mind for a period of time, right? So yeah, maybe it's just simply even just telling you to like open up a book and, you know, get lost in it, you know? That could be really helpful. Sometimes we do need an escape from reality, and that's okay, as long as it's done in moderation, of course. You know, rationally, reasonably. Let's clarify that star card, please and thank you, Spirit. What are you trying to tell us about that? The Devil card came out in the reverse. Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Oh, actually, I really like that. I really like that, actually. Like, it really does feel like you're like, if you have had, and this could even be someone in your life that's been making you feel more stressed or sad or something, you're releasing that person, or if this is a situation, you're releasing that situation. Like, that feeling like of anxiety or something being scary or something just really getting you down and negative, it's being released. Yeah, like anything that's been burdening you in some way, it's being released. But it's like something that you're doing in collaboration with Spirit is helping you release this. So this could be like maybe just simply self-work, internal work that you've been doing with Spirit, or focusing more on your spirituality. Maybe conversing with Spirit, you know? Maybe, you know, like help me find guidance, or, you know, help me grow patience, help me trust in this process. Like simply talking to Spirit in that way could help you release whatever has been hanging over you. And it feels like it could have even been hanging over you for quite some time now, but I feel like it's being released, and it's due to your connection with Spirit that you're releasing this. And again, it's like telling me about how you're meant for such greatness, you know, in life. You're not meant to have these dark energies lingering over you. Like, you're meant to be in the light. With that Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck, I find that interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Spirit may find that okay, something about stubbornness. Like, what do you mean by that, Spirit? Stubbornness? Okay. So maybe it's just a reminder from Spirit that even if you feel like things are going really rough right now, and maybe you're not open to letting other people in, or letting new opportunities in, or something along those lines, this could be just a reminder from Spirit to like maybe open up a little bit. If you find yourself being closed off, especially when it comes to people emotionally supporting you, because I have a feeling, you know, especially in our collective here, you may be a person that typically likes helping other people but feels very uncomfortable being helped. So it could be just a little reminder that, like, open up and don't be so afraid of being vulnerable. Maybe there's something about vulnerability that Spirit wants you to be a little bit more vulnerable, and like that could even provide you with some sort of new opportunity, just being more open, more vulnerable, more willing to engage with others. I feel like it could have to do with somebody else, like, or some, it feels like a person. And I don't necessarily mean in terms of love. It just could be somebody around you that, like, honestly, it could just be somebody that wants to emotionally support you because maybe they know that you're going through a harder time and they want to be there for you. But it feels like maybe you're resistant to that. Oh, I'm almost getting like, okay, yeah, I can understand that. Like, so it's almost like maybe you feel like, what's the point of talking about it? It's not going to change anything. Because I've also been there. I've been there with that mentality. Especially when you're going through it, you know, it's almost like, if I talk about it, it's just going to bring up all those emotions again, and it's going to feel uncomfortable, and I don't want to deal with that, especially when I'm talking to my friends and stuff. So it feels almost like, kind of like that, where it's like, okay, Spirit, I don't know why, but I keep losing these messages. What was that? I can't even remember what I was saying. My brain fog is so bad today. Ay. Something about opening up to people that want to support us. I'll just move on. Hopefully I can remember while I'm editing. But yeah, I think it's pretty much just saying that maybe you don't have as much to worry about as you may think. And closing yourself off may prevent things from improving, I'm getting. Oh, I think I remember what I was trying to say earlier. Where it's like, okay, why would I want to talk about that kind of stuff? That, like, you know, vent about what's happening in my life and what's making me sad, because like that won't change anything. But it may not change anything externally, but it may help you on a personal level. Because like sometimes just talking out loud can help us significantly. Processing our thoughts out loud, writing things down on paper or in a message, that can even help us like process things, see things from a different perspective even, and it can help us release those emotions, those heavier issues, emotions, situations that drag us down. It may be much more cathartic and useful for you than you may think. So maybe that's just a reminder here, not to be afraid to open up to others, especially those who want to support you. Also, I'm getting that, yeah, it's almost like you're teaming up with Spirit now. And so, like, if you had toxic people in your past in love, and maybe that's your fear of love, like the message with that, like, you are not going to be attracting any more of those toxic people into your life. So if you're concerned about, like, opening up to even just love, like, there's definitely a message about, like, you're not gonna be, because you're not the same person that you were in the past. You've grown, you've evolved, and also I feel like your connection to Spirit has increased, or something like has grown more powerful because of your connection to Spirit. And so I feel like it leaves you in a different position now. Like, you're in a completely different vibration, and you're not going to attract that same old kind of toxic, dusty kind of person, you know? So if that's your fear there, I feel like that's also like Spirit here to remind you that, like, you're good. Like, don't worry about attracting somebody toxic, because you're in such a completely different vibration and place in life that those types of people are just not even on your radar. Like, you know, like I feel like there's something there about that. Like, kind of don't sweat it, especially if you're like really concerned about like getting hurt in love or something, which those feelings are valid. Definitely feel through those and see what it's trying to tell you. But also, yeah, don't cut yourself off from new opportunities. You never know how they're going to go good for you, you know? Let's go into Ace of Swords. Please and thank you, Spirit. What are you trying to tell us with that? Anything else about Ace of Swords? Please and thank you. What would you like to tell the collective? They're feeling blue? With the Ace of Swords? Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay, I think they just want me to talk about the first card that came out. So the Ten of Wands came out, and it came out in this direction. So it feels like it could be holding you back. Some sort of big burden, heaviness. You know, I guess if you are going through a hard time in which you feel like everything is just heavy on your shoulders, it almost feels like everything's your responsibility. I get like this feeling of like, oh my gosh, why does everything have to, you know, why am I responsible for everything? Like, why am I, you know, like it feels definitely like you feel overburdened, and it could just be like within your life, or like even responsibilities could feel overwhelming. Yeah, something about like this weight and this heaviness is holding you back. I definitely want to clarify that, but I find it so interesting that that's clarifying the Ace of Swords. Maybe like you have something to say, or maybe an idea that needs to come out, or maybe some sort of truth that you want to share, but there's like this burden holding you back from doing that. And then earlier I was getting the message about how your words manifest, so maybe you might be able to manifest something, but like something about your burdens are holding you back from doing that. I'll definitely clarify that, but let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Ace of Cups. Ace of Swords, and then we have the Ace of Cups. Something about speaking about what's on your heart. Speaking about your emotions. But then there's that burden and heaviness. Or maybe these burdens could be putting you more so in a place of the mind rather than the heart. And maybe that's something that needs to be more balanced, is your head and heart. Maybe there needs to be more of a balancing there. Or something about like your thoughts and your emotions, balancing those out. Or maybe something about speaking the truth about how you feel about something. And maybe that's been a burden, not being able to speak the truth about something you feel. Yeah, let's definitely clarify that Ten of Wands. Please and thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Page of Pentacles, double confirmation for Page of Pentacles. And the Three of Swords. I feel like you're afraid of building something new or starting over because of the pain that you've experienced in the past. And maybe that pain still lingers with you. I'm almost even getting that maybe this Ten of Wands is like representing how you're overburdened with past experiences and the repercussions or like the effects that they had on you. Ooh, bottom of the deck is the Knight of Pentacles. Something's moving too slow in your mind. And maybe you're not seeing enough results and that makes you feel stuck or something. Still feel like there's an element of this message that I'm not quite grasping. I also find it very interesting that the Page of Pentacles came out and then we have the Knight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Could even speak of some sort of like forward motion, developing, positive movement forward. Or maybe that's what you're striving for, some sort of change in a positive way. I'm also getting that maybe you're just like really thinking a lot about the burden of your past and how you've had to start over and you've been betrayed or hurt or deceived. Oh, if that was you, if you have been thinking a lot about like the heavy burden of your past and how you've had to maybe start over many times and maybe a lot of those situations ended in pain. If you've been like maybe lingering in this or kind of ruminating in it a little bit, it may actually be because the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck, and like in the picture it doesn't even look like he's moving. So I'm almost getting like a feeling of maybe even being stuck or feeling stuck. Maybe maybe ruminating on the past could be holding you back in some way right now, or closing you off to something. Let's clarify that Three of Swords, please and thank you, Spirit. What is this pain here with the Three of Swords? What's the message behind that Three of Swords? Please and thank you, Spirit. For the collective, and they're feeling blue. What's that Three of Swords trying to tell us? Please and thank you. Ooh. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands, fighting for something. Eight of Wands, incoming communication, usually a positive message. Two of Swords, confusion, having a hard time making a decision. Judgment card, maybe somebody finally makes that decision. I'm almost even getting, and especially if this has to do with like past love experiences being painful, like maybe you were the one to always fight for the connection. Maybe you were even the one that always like reached out first and maybe put in more effort, especially in communication. And it always like led you to being confused or being in your head. But then maybe you reach this point of like, maybe acknowledging your own worth or something. well, the Seven of Wands followed by the Eight of Wands. That's good. Forward progression. Progress. But it feels like it takes a dip with that Two of Swords. Like that progress or... But, yeah, okay. Well, not only is the person in this image blindfolded, so maybe you're not seeing something quite clearly at the moment. Oh, there's also a message with the Two of Swords about going outside of your comfort zone, because that may be what is needed of you, or it could be necessary in a given situation to go outside of your comfort zone. So maybe if you're the person that always is like putting in the effort in connections, you have to go into a place where you're not putting in the effort. And that could be like a really frustrating thing. Yeah, because I feel like what caused you to get burnt in the past was you, yeah, putting in all the effort, and it almost like never paid off for you. And so it's like, I almost see you like kind of reflecting on that potentially and being like, well, if that never led to anything or anything good or healthy, maybe I need to take a step back from always being the one to pursue or to reach out or to fight for a connection. But like, even making that sort of decision can kind of get you stuck in your head to a degree, because especially if you're very used to doing this, you may feel like something's missing if you're not putting in all the effort, if you're not the only person that cares about the connection and stuff. So it could be even like this time of like trying to figure out how to be comfortable not doing all the work. There's a message about, okay, with the Judgment card, there's a message here about like they will come to you. Like maybe the ones that are meant for you, or the ones that maybe like that you don't put in as much effort, or like, yeah, like maybe that's like what they prefer or something. Like it feels like I'm getting the message of like, if you build it, they will come. So it's like maybe you think that if you don't put in the effort that you were in the past, that maybe your desires of love or whatever are just not going to go anywhere, and you're like very stuck in your head about that, because you're like, if I'm not putting in any and it's not necessarily that you can't put in any effort, but like maybe don't be the person that's doing the most, you know, or maybe demand the same back from the other person, or like, you know, pretty much don't be the one that's always giving with nothing ever, without ever receiving, you know. And then it's like, you may feel like by, you know, not putting in as much effort, that could make you less desirable, or that could cut off your opportunities for love or something. But I feel like that's not the case. I feel like it will cause you to attract people that are different than the people that you usually attract. And I think that is like the secret of the sauce there. Yes, because especially if in the past, when you've been putting in all the effort, not receiving anything back, and, you know, draining yourself, you know, doing it all and not receiving anything back, it could be that yeah, like if that was the type of person that you ended up with, or, you know, attracted, doing the opposite could attract the opposite of that personality. Does that make sense? And so maybe you'll be actually attracting the people that are meant to be with you, instead of like the kind of people that will just waste your time. Like, I don't even know if that makes any sense, but it feels like significant. Like, if you take on a more either reserved or detached sort of energy, and I'm not trying to say like playing games or pretending to not care about someone to get them hooked on you, like I'm not talking about all that, but rather just like, yeah, by you simply, yeah, like not being the one to pursue, not being the one that puts in all the effort, it could attract you or make you attractive to the people that are not looking to use you, are not looking for, somebody else to do all the work. I feel like you're going to be attracting people that are actually there for the right reasons. Also, I think it could even make you more attractive. Because, like, maybe that's even something that you're a little bit worried about. It's like, oh, that's not attractive if you don't show that you want to do everything in the relationship. Or, people don't like it when you don't show, when you don't devote your entire life to that person. But I feel like it could make you even more attractive. I'm also getting that people... Yeah, this must be something like about psychology, because it almost feels like the more reserved you are about like putting in effort, and maybe that's a lot about like getting to know somebody before putting in that sort of effort. That could be a part of this. Yeah, because like sometimes, especially us that are like maybe a little bit insecure or whatever, or a people pleaser, we may think that like the natural thing to do before we even know somebody completely or well enough, we just start giving to them before they've even proved themselves to us, before we've even fully understood who they are and how they are. So it's almost giving me that sort of energy as well, where it's like that could be a part of it, is like maybe not giving everything you got within like the first day of meeting somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like in the first however long of getting to know somebody, like it may be even simply just you need to get to know them better so you know whether or not they're worth the effort that you put into things. And I think that could make you very attractive. I feel like that could make people very drawn to you. It also feels like very much like a raising of your vibration. Maybe something to do with like your valuing yourself more and stuff. Let me see. Oh, at the bottom of the deck is the Four of Cups again. And maybe when you step into this place of, not putting in all the effort, especially not right away, could give you, I don't even know how to word this, but like, how do I say that? Pretty much the standards that you hold and your ability to be reserved until somebody shows that that they're worthy of the effort that you put into these types of things. Like your standards, and you're being selective. It's like attractive. It may make you like more attractive. Yeah, because maybe in the past you kind of put a lot of effort in for people that didn't really deserve it. And so now it's like maybe you're in this place where you're like, I'm going to make sure that they're deserving before I put in the effort, And I think maybe something about that kind of speaks to, your value of yourself, like you valuing yourself, valuing your own time, your own energy, and, just knowing your own worth could make you very attractive to people. And the way in which you go about doing that, maybe it does come across as a little bit closed off at first, but maybe that's like not necessarily a bad thing. I don't know. That's like an interesting message. It's like kind of like it may feel like wrong or like against your natural inclination to not give 100% immediately. But I feel like it feels like it's gonna actually work out much better for you. Okay, so I think I know what this Ace of Swords is. I think this is you maybe having the epiphany of like, I gotta change the way in which I do love, or maybe it's just simply interacting with other people. It feels very much like you're no longer in the place of being a people pleaser, or maybe this is what you realized, like by reflecting on the past, by, you know, noticing these patterns in your dating life. You're kind of like, yeah, I gotta switch things up. And maybe it's gonna be uncomfortable at first, but I feel like it's gonna pay off because it shows that you value yourself, and that you are have that sense of self-worth, you know? Like you're not just accepting just anything or anyone. And it does almost feel like you're kind of like, well, show me if you're worth it and I'll give you effort, like kind of thing. And I think that's honestly totally perfectly fine and maybe even healthier, you know? I mean, I'm no relationship expert, so I don't know exactly what the healthiest thing to do is, but you know, maybe it's a good thing to like have those sort of standards and, you know, wait until somebody proves to you that they're worth it before giving everything you have to them, you know? So that could even be like maybe spirit encouraged you to do that, or maybe this is just like on your own, you kind of came to this sort of epiphany, like, oh yeah, I guess I gotta change the way in which I do relationships because the way in which I was doing it before was not working out for me. And it feels like you may even experience more opportunities that are much more like enlightened or very much on your destined path, that are, yeah, in your vibration. So it's like, feels like it's a win-win with that one. Okay, yeah. So if you, maybe this is a new thing that you've been doing, is trying to switch up the way in which you navigate relationships with other people. So you may be in that kind of two swords energy, like, is this the right thing to do? Am I, you know, it feels uncomfortable, it doesn't feel like my comfort zone, but I think if you trust, it's gonna work out very well for you. Okay, let's go on to that Page of Pentacles. Please and thank you, Spirit. Please and thank you. Page of Pentacles, please and thank you. For the collective, yes! Interesting. Ooh, this is very interesting. Okay, so Page of Pentacles, clarified by the Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, bottom of the deck is the Chariot. This feels interesting to me because it's like, wait a second. How is there a Knight of Wands and a Knight of Pentacles? If this is the same energy, this is like conflicting energy. So, it's really funny that I was getting before with this card that you may be very open to like new opportunities. You may be somebody that likes to seize, you know, those types of opportunities when they are offered to you and stuff. And so I feel like you are going to be offered a new beginning, or opportunity here. And I'm almost wondering if it's going to be a choice that you have to make. Because I feel like you're open and excited at this point for something new. And maybe this is kind of like a progressive storyline where it's like you've been switching up the way in which you do relationships, and maybe now someone or two someones are coming in to offer you something One could be an earth sign, one could be a fire sign, not necessarily. I definitely think that one of them is faster than the other, faster moving. So maybe one of these people, I'm almost even getting that the Knight of Pentacles person, if this is like a separate person, it could be that somebody here is very like stoic, keeps their emotions kind of under the surface and stuff. So you may not even know that somebody's interested in approaching you, and because they're slow moving, you probably don't even see them on the horizon. But then there's somebody else that maybe, this is definitely somebody that's not afraid to express if they're attracted to you, or what they're feeling and stuff. And they're definitely a flirt. So that could be, yeah, maybe somebody wants to flirt with you. But definitely faster moving than the Knight of Pentacles. So this person could make themselves known to you faster than the other person, if it is a separate person. And I also find that so interesting that the Chariot card came out on the bottom of the deck, because the Chariot card is all about forward movement, like going towards something, just like the Knights. But the Knight of Pentacles and the Chariot card feel almost like opposites, because the Knight of Pentacles is so slow moving and maybe even stationary, whereas the Chariot is like, okay, let's go, let's do this, like, let's go for it. So, I mean, if this is one person, they really want to come towards you, but they may also be conflicted about the speed in which they come towards you. And, oh, there's a bug, it scared me. Yeah, so it could be just like one person kind of conflicted about it, like I'm ready, but I'm also like kind of scared, or maybe I should take things slower than that. But if it's two people, I mean, it's possible it could be three, but I'm almost getting like this could be more representing the Knight of Wands person, because they're already in that active, ready for it sort of energy, that matches more so with the Chariot. Or I guess it could represent the Knight of Pentacles person if that's a separate person. Like going from the Knight of Pentacles to the Chariot, maybe that's somebody building up confidence, maybe somebody's like, oh, I actually got to get a move on here, I'm going too slow. Okay, let me, I'll clarify these individually so I can see if they're like the same person or not. Clarify that Knight of Wands for us, please, and thank you, Spirit. Who is this Knight of Wands, please, and thank you, Spirit. I cannot kid you. Like, I literally couldn't make this up if I tried. The Chariot. So, I guess, yeah, that was right. This Knight of Wands is coming towards you very quickly and maybe flirtatiously. But I think that flirtiness on the surface may just be sort of like a facade, or them trying to play the flirt, because that Chariot card has much more seriousness and stability behind it than the Knight of Wands, because the Knight of Wands could be temporary, kind of quick in and out, but the Chariot gives a sense of seriousness and something about destiny or like fate. Like, they take it much more seriously. I'm almost thinking that they could come across as a Knight of Wands, so maybe kind of flirty and maybe not really taking things seriously, or maybe that's how you perceive them. Or maybe you don't take them seriously because of the way that they're showing up. But it's like their deep intentions are that there's something serious here, and something that is a part of their destiny or their fate or something. Something that may be meant for them, or that's how they feel. So it could be that somebody's trying to play it cool. Like, yeah, whatever, I'm chill, I'm casual like that. But on the inside, they're like, oh my God, my soulmate. You know? It's kind of like that sort of energy. Eight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I might want to clarify that Eight of Swords, because it almost feels like that doesn't really feel like their energy, because it seems like this is somebody that's quite confident and knows exactly that they do. Like, they know that they want to come towards you, and like they're actively doing that with the Knight of Wands and the Chariot. So it doesn't really make too much sense that the Eight of Swords would be at the bottom of the deck, because the Eight of Swords is overthinking, and maybe even a little bit of a pessimistic or limited point of view. And it's about feeling trapped, like you're stuck in a situation that you can't escape. Maybe I should look at underneath the Eight of Swords to see if we can get more details. Yeah, let's see. What's under that Eight of Swords? The Magician. Oh. So that's what they're confused about, or stuck in their head about. That they, Well, I'm getting a couple things even. Like, first off, they may have wanted to manifest the connection with you or something, especially with that Magician. So maybe that's kind of part of this overthinking, is like, maybe like, it almost gives me a sense of like this person's trying to manifest their soulmate. But then maybe they're like, but what if this one isn't the real deal? Or, you know, they start to overthink it. Like, maybe they see you and they think that you're the perfect match. But then the more they think about it, it's like, oh wait, what about this? What about this? What about this? Or like, it almost feels like, am I doing the right thing though? It almost feels like maybe an ethical sort of confusion. Especially if maybe they feel like you're not trying to manifest them, but they're trying to manifest you. And so maybe they're worried about like how that may come across to you. Maybe they don't know how you feel or what you think about it. And that lack of information could be stressing this person out or something. Okay, so it almost feels like, because this person sees you as part of their destiny or fate or something, it's almost like I'm getting the message like, I could be wrong though. Like maybe, yeah, maybe they don't know for sure if you're really like their soul partner, but they're like, they feel so drawn to you, but they're also like, but what if I'm wrong? Or what if this doesn't work out? Or yeah, maybe it's just them simply overthinking like how this could possibly go wrong. Like, although they know what they want and they know that they want to go forward, but maybe they're at the same time overthinking the whole thing. Clarify the Chariot, because it feels like maybe there's another message with that Knight of Wands. Please and thank you. What is going on with that Chariot card? What do you have for that? Please and thank you, Spirit. What is that Chariot card all about? Please and thank you, Spirit. Is there something, like a message behind that? Thank you. Oopsie, oopsie, scoopsie. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, Magician card and the Four of Swords came out. So, yeah, the Magician was telling us before that this person was manifesting. They may have gone through a period of self-reflection and realized that this is really what they want. Maybe even the Divine, you know, was like, hey, I think I got a soulmate for you, and they're right over there. Yeah, because there is a connection to Spirit with that Magician card. It feels like... It feels like they thought about this before manifesting. So, like, it's well thought out. It's not just, like, spur of the moment or something. Like, it feels like they meditated on this manifestation or something. To maybe like make sure that they were in it for the right reasons. I definitely think that there is something about like their communication to spirit. Could be downloads from spirit that have been like sort of pointing them and maybe pushing them in that direction. I also think it's funny that I almost said King of Wands when I was saying Knight of Wands, like to clarify, and then it just so happened to show up at the bottom of the deck now. That's actually hitting me as somebody here maturing, going from that Knight of Wands to the King of Wands. And yeah, I think this person's trying to hide how serious their feelings are for you, or like how serious they're actually taking this. Like, I honestly feel like they could put on a mask of like, I don't really care if they refuse me or like they reject me. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But, you know, if they reject me, I will cry about it for the rest of my life, you know, kind of thing. Like, it's like, it's like maybe they're trying to seem casual, but they're like really, really not. Like, I feel like they're very much, oh, and you had the Queen of Wands earlier too, so this could be a divine match here. I feel like, yeah, it feels almost like they want to play it cool. Like, you know, yeah, I guess we can go out on a date if you want, whatever. You know, obviously, not exactly in those words, but like it feels like. But you're highly intuitive. I think you're going to pick up on something like that. Like this person's just kind of putting on, like, maybe they even think that like coming across as a player or a flirt or like the person that everybody wants. Like maybe they think that that's going to be what catches your attention or something. But I almost feel like they're going to have to like reveal that like true self of theirs under the surface. Like I almost feel like because you're so evolved and you're so like not it based in the ego with that kind of thing, like I don't think that sort of thing impresses you at all. Like somebody trying to be casual or come across as a flirt or a player, like I feel like that will just be a turn off to you. So maybe it's like when they realize that that's not the winning technique or tactic, I guess, then they're like, okay, like let me actually show you I am serious. Like, sorry, that was just me trying to impress you. Like I actually do care about you and, you know, want to be serious about this connection. So it almost feels like maybe somebody almost plays it off at first, but then like they're like, oh, I was just joking, I was just trying to impress you. It almost feels kind of cute like that, where it's like, yeah, it's almost like, you know, like growing up with like, I don't know, like, you know, boys when they're young, or, you know, maybe it's not specific to boys, but, you know, it's like it may be like they think that they're gonna impress you by doing certain things, but it really just doesn't. I don't know. Okay. Let's go and clarify that Knight of Pentacles now, because I'm wondering if this is like a choice between two people. Can you clarify that Knight of Pentacles for us, please, and thank you, Spirit? Is this a different person? Please and thank you. What's this Knight of Pentacles all about? For the collective? Ooh, thank you. It is a different person. I think. Let me see what's at the bottom of the deck. Eight of Pentacles. So this could be somebody with very deep feelings, but they're like working on something right now, which could cause them to be distracted from this connection, even if they really, really want it. Or it could be causing them to be very, very slow moving, maybe not even coming towards you right now. I'm almost even wondering if this is somebody that has very deep emotions for you, but they're working on their 3D comfort before coming forward. Like maybe they need to build up their finances or create some sort of sense of comfort in their 3D before opening up to this connection or something. But it seems like they want it. They got those emotions. Like, they are in Knight mode, even if it is just the Knight of Pentacles. So it's like, they know what they want, but maybe they feel like they're not quite ready. Whereas the other person might feel more ready. Can you tell me more about this King of Cups? He's an thank you spirit. Yeah, what about that or King of Cups? I don't know if I said Knight, but King of Cups, please and thank you. Ooh. 7 of Swords. I don't know how to feel about that, because usually it's a sneaky kind of character. Oh, I think I know what's going on. Yeah, because like their emotions for you are real, so I don't see why they would have to play games or be sneaky or whatever. But I'm getting like, this could be like how they are being sneaky is maybe they're trying to be very, very demure with their feelings for you. But like I think they're trying to hide their feelings for you. And that's like them being in sneaky mode. The sneakiness is them having these feelings but not showing them to you, or at least not yet. Like maybe they feel like they have to hide that from you right now. And maybe it is because they're kind of working on something in their personal life, maybe building up their stability, their finances or something, and so therefore they may not feel like either worthy of you, or they may not feel like they're in the right position yet to come in as energetic as the other person is. But it feels like, yeah, they might be like trying to hide their, oh my gosh, bottom of the deck is the Lover's card. Yeah. So I think this person definitely sees you as an ideal match for them. Like, I'm getting kind of like dream lover, or like a dream person here, like a soulmate. But they want to hide that from you, the fact that they feel that way about you. But also, like, there's choices that is a part of the Lover's card. So I almost feel like maybe they're choosing to do things because they think it's for, like, it's, I don't know how to say that. Like, they think it's for the best possible outcome, or like for the good of everyone involved. Yeah, like maybe they don't want to come into your life with chaos. So maybe if they're still working on stuff in their personal life, they don't want to come in and have you deal with all of that. Maybe they want to sort of make sure that that's all taken care of before, you know, the two of you come together. And so they're like doing what they think is the right choice, but it could even slightly hinder them to an extent. Or it could just make you not trust them. I'm even getting this is a possibility. Like maybe you even feel like this person's hiding something, but you don't realize that it's their feelings for you that they're hiding. Maybe you think that there's something more sinister happening, but in reality it's just them hiding their emotions for you. Yeah, like maybe even like there's a period of silence or something from this person, and so you're like, what are they up to? But really it's just them trying to hide their feelings for you or something. Yeah, I'm even getting with this Lover's card that they may even think that you two were made for each other. I'm curious to see what's at the underneath this Lover's card. So, Eight of Swords. That's too funny. So yeah, it's almost like maybe they are even, both of these people may be overthinking their connection with you. It also could be that like you're very popular, or that you're very captivating or beautiful or something. Something about you really stands out, so they could be like overthinking because they either don't want to make a fool in front of you, or they're maybe worried about like you being out of their league or something. I almost feel like this sense of like they know that you could be the one, but they feel trapped in this state of like, I gotta still work on my personal stuff before I incorporate anybody else into my life. And that might not even be true. That just might be like how they feel about things. Because it feels like, yeah, they're stuck kind of knowing or having this feeling about you being their soulmate, but like they feel like they're in a space where they can't really do anything right now. And that could be really frustrating for them. I'm gonna ask, yeah, let's clarify that Seven of Swords. Please and thank you, Spirit. Just want to make sure that there's nothing really toxic going on. What's going on with that Seven of Swords? Please and thank you, Spirit. What are you trying to tell the collective about that? Okay. Five of Wands. Yeah, this kind of talks to me about like that inner turmoil potentially. Maybe they're like super conflicted, like I said, like, because like their thing is, I know that this person could be my soulmate, but I feel like I can't approach them because I'm not in the right place right now. And so that Five of Wands could be like their internal conflict. Like, I'm so drawn to this person, but I can't go towards them. You know, them kind of internally fighting with themselves. They could also be kind of stressed out, like if you have other options, they may feel like either they don't stand a chance against those other options, or maybe like they don't like competition or something. Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck though. Yeah, it almost feels like they wouldn't have a lot to offer you at this point. Like, even though they are the King of Cups, they do have technically what it takes, but maybe it's like all they can offer you right now is the Page. And maybe you're deserving more so of a king. And so that's maybe like what they're trying to do. It's like if they come towards you now, it may not be enough. Or it may not be up to your standards, it may not be in your frequency. Like, it feels like something about it may be lacking, and that's what is causing this person either not to come forward or to take their time coming forward. Whereas the other person seems like they're much more fired up and ready to go. And maybe even a little bit more confident. Okay, yeah. So it almost feels like you're gonna have like a decision even at some point to make between these two people. And also I feel like this could be also like a message about like how you're very well liked by others, whether you feel that way or not. Like, something about you is very attractive, it draws people in. You may be very interesting as a person. Something about your personality could be really interesting to people. Like, something about you definitely draws people in, makes them very interested in you. But I think because you are so special, or you're so captivating and whatnot, it almost like maybe psychs some people out, or makes them afraid of coming towards you or expressing themselves because of how well liked you are, maybe your popularity. You're like in high demand is what I'm getting. In high demand. Yeah. So yeah, if you've been bummed out for, you know, romance, maybe somebody or two somebodies are coming in to, you know, express themselves to you. One definitely probably will take much longer than the other one. But yeah, and ultimately it'll be your decision. So if this person, you know, the Knight of Wands person, comes around trying to play games, you might say, never mind, I'll wait for the right one. And then who knows, maybe this King of Cups will eventually get to the point where they're more comfortable and they feel like they can approach you. And maybe they feel like they'll, when they reach a certain point, they can feel like they're on your vibration or in your league, you know? But yeah, obviously you'll be able to decide, you know, which of these is best. And I think that definitely the Sun card at the bottom of the deck is just here to remind you that happiness is coming to you. Even if you don't see the light right now, the light is coming. Okay? So yeah, that's the reading. I really hope that that you enjoyed it and that it resonated. If it did resonate, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me. And we can be a little bee family together. If you like my readings, be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you next time that I upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.